Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, also known as FDR, was born on the 30th of January in 1882 in Hyde Park, New York. To James Roosevelt and Sarah Delano Roosevelt. He was educated at home until the age of 14 to attend Groton School. Afterward, he attended Harvard University, where he graduated in 1903, and later on, in 1905, attended Columbia Law Schools, but he dropped out. Franklin Delano Roosevelt married his cousin Eleanor Roosevelt on March 17, 1905. She was a Democrat like her husband and was into politics. Eleanor Roosevelt had 6 children, which were Anna Eleanor Roosevelt Halstead, James Roosevelt, Elliott Roosevelt, Franklin Delano Jr. Roosevelt, and John Aspinwall Roosevelt. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was elected to the New York Senate in 1910 and again in 1912. He was chosen as Assistant Secretary of the Navy by Woodrow Wilson in 1913. In 1920, James M. Cox was running for president and Franklin Delano Roosevelt was his elected vice president. The following year, Roosevelt became seriously ill with poliomyelitis, also known as polio. He would never be able to use his legs again. His illness, in a way, changed his personality and made him kinder and more warm-hearted. Even though he was ill, he joined politics again in 1928 and the following year became the governor of New York. He was elected again in 1930. He met many important people that influenced him and his decisions as a politician, and later on as a president. When Wall Street crashed in 1929, President Herbert Hoover was slow at helping the country. Roosevelt, who was governor at the time, did everything he could to help his state, including those who were unemployed and those who couldn't work. Roosevelt was unanimously elected as president in 1932 and beat his opponent, Herbert Hoover. The people of the United States were afraid of losing all their life earnings to the Depression, and instead of using banks, kept their money in their houses. He and Congress passed a legislation that proposed that if another financial crisis were to happen, the people would not lose their money. For 3 months, Roosevelt and Congress passed many important bills. Franklin Delano Roosevelt created many projects to relieve the country. During his presidency, the Social Security Act was passed. The Social Security Act was meant to give money to the elderly people who could no longer work. When World War II started, America supported the Allied troops by giving them supplies. But when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor by surprise on December 7, 1941, America then became part of the Allied troops. The United States of America declared war against Japan. The war also helped America emerge from the depression in which they were living in. The end of the war, though, would never be seen by Roosevelt, because he died in April 1945 at Warm Springs, Georgia, 3 weeks before the Germans surrendered. He died of cerebral hemorrhage. Franklin Delano Roosevelt had served for 12 years as President of the United States of America. Franklin Delano Roosevelt is the most respected president for helping America during one of the hardest times that she's ever been through, and helping the American people gain faith in their country in a hopeless time.